So we just got Season 2 of XDefiant last week, and with it comes new maps, new weapons, the new Highwaymen faction, the One Life bomb mode, netcode improvements, and more. And honestly guys, while there's still plenty of missing features that a lot of players have been begging for since launch, this has been a solid start to Season 2. Yes, we still need more progression systems, and they're coming with Season 3, but all the new additions to actual gameplay are all, seriously, really good. All the new stuff we got only adds more interesting ways to play the same game, so let's get into it. Before we get into the new gameplay elements added to Season 2, I wanted to talk about how XDefiant's really stepping it up with the cosmetics. Now, I already had a pretty extremist opinion on the cosmetics last season. This might be my most extreme XDefiant opinion. I like some of the cosmetics.
You need to leave!
But now, with Season 2, I think they're really stepping it up with weapon camos, player skins, and all the other cosmetics. And finally, with the launch of this new season, we've got what I bet nearly every player has been asking for since day one. Guys, we've got the nerd emoji. To me, it seems like XDefiant's starting to hit its stride with cosmetics, which Mark Rubin said a while ago is something they wanted to improve upon, so it looks like we're starting to see the results of that. Also guys, XDefiant's always giving out free cosmetics all the time too. This season's Twitch drops look pretty cool, and as much hate as I've seen for Ubisoft Connect, I really like that you can claim free skins and weapon XP boosters just from playing the game here, and a lot of these skins I actually really like, so Ubisoft Connect is pretty alright in my book. It really adds to the experience in my opinion, but I think I may be the only one. Even still, free skins, go get them. If I could throw in my 2 cents of criticism on cosmetics, I would say that the MVP backgrounds are a bit lacking. There are some cool background graphics that pop up, I like them, but the explosion is still the coolest background they put out. I hope we see some more really good backgrounds because there's a lot of potential for some cool earnables there. Imagine the sick MVP backgrounds and player animations they could make for getting max prestige with specific factions, or a cool animated background for mastery of every SMG. Alright, enough about skins. Let's get into the new gameplay elements we got with Season 2. The new Highwaymen faction has been a lot of fun to play these past few days. Their passive, boosting your fire rate and reload speed, makes the faction feel so powerful, even after a kill or two. I like pairing the passive with the M4. With it being one of the weaker weapons in the game, this faction really lets the weapon shine. I've been loving the Highwaymen's turret too. I was worried a turret might not be a great addition to the game, but it's definitely becoming one of my new favorite abilities. It's just fun to have a new way to look at every map and mode in the game. Where should I put my turret? Do I want it to make contact as the first line of defense, or should I put it in a spot that'll be tough for enemies to commit to killing it? It's a whole nother layer of tactics and strategy to add on top of the game when you pick this ability. Plus, it's funny watching people get fried by the turret. I can't say the same about the grenade launcher though. Sure, it has its uses, but this thing is, pardon my French, clunky as balls. With only 2 shots, a fat cooldown, even if you only shoot 1. You can tell the developers were very careful about implementing a grenade launcher ability into their game. And I never thought I'd be in a position to say we should be buffing a grenade launcher, but we might need to buff this grenade launcher. And I think they will. They just didn't want to drop Highwaymen into the game with an OP passive and an OP grenade launcher. So I'm cool with the grenade launcher not being that great right now. I'm sure they'll come around to adjusting it eventually, but what do you guys think? Do you think the grenade launcher's fine how it is now, or maybe even too strong? I cannot state enough how terrible I am with what is meant to be one of the most overpowered weapon classes in FPS history, so maybe I'm just ass? Now let's talk this buzzsaw ult. I love this thing because when I pop it, it's like the entire game changes. This isn't XDefiant anymore, we're playing pinball! Like the grenade launcher, I still kinda suck with this thing, but not because it's weak. This thing's insane, and it's been really fun finding the best spots to shoot saws into, especially as someone who loves playing Occupy. There's a lot of potential for some crazy multi-kills with this thing, but just not for me right now. Maybe in a week or two. If you're a fan of XDefiant, you know they kill it with their map design, and after playing the new map, Waterfront, surprise, surprise, this is another great map. With their latest release, Rockefeller being a small, action-packed blender of a map, having a larger map with long sight lines and a bit more verticality is a welcome addition to the map pool. When I'm playing an arena FPS like XDefiant or COD, I want the game to feel more like paintball than an actual milsim, and Waterfront looks and feels like a big paintball map, especially around the middle. Another great addition to the map pool. Great job, devs, keep it up. Now listen, I love this game, but I'm not buying tier skips, okay? I'm leveling the battle pass the old-fashioned way. And plus, I think they increased battle pass XP this season, which is great because it definitely feels like I'm flying through these levels compared to last season. It also helps that I hoard my double XP tokens like fucking Smaug in the Deathly Hollows Part 2. I think I'm getting my Dragon Tails messed up, but you get the point. Anyway, I don't have the shotgun or the LMG yet, but I got my hands on the PP-19 and this thing is awesome. Definitely one of my new favorite guns for 6v6, especially paired with the Highwaymen. The gun feels great and the larger magazine size comes in clutch pretty much every single life. I'll keep you guys updated on my thoughts on the new Shoddy and LMG when I get to them. From what I've heard though, they're pretty good too, so I'm pretty excited to try those out. XDefiant's been killing it with all the new stuff, so I'm always excited for new weapons, maps, and factions, but what I was most looking forward to this season was the bomb mode, which is XDefiant's take on the one life search and destroy mode. And honestly guys, I'm really surprised how smooth the launch of bomb has been going. Sure, I guess it's a lot easier when you have a much simpler mode that doesn't have to rely on spawn points potentially changing every 5 seconds, but figuring out the spectator system has proven to be the biggest hurdle for the mode. It's still a little buggy, but hey, it works. We have a working one life mode in XDefiant, and it's a great change of pace to the breakneck speeds that you get from pretty much every other mode. Playing bomb on all the new maps is a new experience entirely. When you've got 12 maps to play the mode on, adding one good mode feels like a new game entirely with this game. I'm excited to see what other new modes XDefiant brings to the table because it seems like that could be a big part of their strategy moving into future seasons. New fun modes that allow the player to appreciate the maps we already have in new and exciting ways. I can't wait to play bomb in the 4v4 ranked format, but even 6v6 bomb is such a welcome addition to this game, man. Especially for players looking for slower, more tactical gameplay. The inclusion of the faction ability limit in this mode is great too. I was worried about playing against a full team of intel suit users, mag barriers, something like that. Glad we don't have to deal with that in this mode. Ultimates and recharging abilities seem a bit out of place here though. One use of your ability per round seems plenty, and ultimates just seem too powerful for a one life mode. I mean, come on, Echelon ult in a one life mode? I'm picking that every time if I can. We got a lot of cool new stuff this season, but positivity for XDefiant is mostly drowned out by people spamming dead game under any XDefiant related Twitter post or Reddit thread, which really sucks as someone who really likes this game and I'm loving seeing every new improvement and feature being added to it. It just sucks that there's people out there that are so dedicated to the downfall of XDefiant. It seems like they spend more time complaining about a game that they hate than they do playing games that they like, but I guess it's always easier to hop on a hate train than a hype train. I just wish people would spend their time doing what they enjoy, not tearing down other people for what they enjoy, but I guess there's always been people who love to tear other things down, and there always will be, and the internet just amplifies it. Alright, enough hippie talk. Even through all the trolls, the developers are still listening to the real feedback from the people who actually play the game and are voicing what they don't like. And while it sucks for the developers when people don't like certain aspects of the game they created, it's nice to know that they're listening and they kinda have a pulse on the stuff people really are averse to in the game. The spider bot is a great example. I have faith in these devs that when there's something in the game people don't like, they actually go about fixing or even straight up removing it. We also know netcode is constantly being worked on as a top priority, and we saw some big improvements with Season 2, but not without some new issues. It's a work in progress after all. They can't just hit the fix netcode button and suddenly everyone has a perfect experience. With the start of Season 2, my hit regs seem to have improved significantly, which is great. They've obviously done something to make improvements and I can actually feel it. But with these improvements, now trading kills with your opponents happens way more often. Way too often, if we're being honest. As someone who doesn't know shit about netcode, this seems like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back situation, which to me is good. Like I said, it's a work in progress, and these improvements continue to give me faith that we're moving in the right direction. The same goes for audio. To me, it seems obvious they wanted to make some major changes to enemy footstep audio for their bomb mode. They don't want footsteps being too loud to where nobody can move around the map, but you still want audio cues so people can't just sprint around the map and catch opponents off guard for free. XDefiant is a game that prides itself on its fluid movement ingrained in its gunplay, but you still want to reward players for slowing down and holding an angle too. The game can't only be speed and momentum. They want to reward slowing down and thinking too. They definitely made the footsteps too quiet with the launch of Season 2. Maybe something's bugged, but like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm sure they'll get the audio where it's meant to be. Thanks for watching, and if you want more XDefiant content, subscribe and check out my channel for all kinds of XDefiant gameplay, guides, yap sessions, shorts, and more. And shout out to subscriber number 770, Acme World. If you want a shout out at the end of the next video, oh wait, it looks like we've also got Chili Cheese Soda coming in as subscriber number 770. Y'all know what that means, 1v1, snipers only. If you want a shout out at the end of the next video, subscribe and drop your sub number in the comments below. We're almost to 1,000 subs, guys, which is the limit, I think. So get in here before we reach capacity. Goodbye!